Tale of the old Holly Hunter.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting post-Halloween edition of Nat20Hot. You'll see all of our wonderful costumes in just a moment. We can't thank you enough for kicking off your November with all of us, which for some of us is the start of winter. For others, it's just Halloween part two. If you're joining us for the first time, I don't know what that meant. I didn't write that. If you're joining us for the first time, we are just a bunch of friends who like to play Dungeons and Dragons together, and we're streaming it for kicks, but we're also doing it for the kids. We are streaming in support of Extra Life, which raises money for America's Children's Hospitals. Specifically, your donations go to children's hospitals in your area. So, this being the season of giving, we are very close to our $1,000 goal for the year. If you are interested in helping kids in your area get the medical care that they need, please consider making a donation. It is all tax deductible, and who doesn't love that? And who doesn't love helping the kids? So, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring our cohort of adventurers up on the screen here. Waving your costumes, gang.
What
Right
costume?
on. When we last left our party last week, they gave up on braving the storm and instead braved the clearly haunted house tucked away deep in the Avansard mountain range. In the house, they faced spectral scenes of days gone by, a small town burdened by lack of food and supplies, under the watch of a leader too proud to admit defeat. Exploring deeper, they encountered ghouls and ghasts and a peculiar doll that seemed to harbor more than met the eye. Finally, they stumbled upon letters written by the residents of what used to be the fabled settlement founded by the great Wilbert Wathem. The woods named for his departure from Trowood seemingly a misnomer, as his people had finally landed in the mountains only to suffer from lack of resources and die off. Elsewhere in the house, the party traced a green aura seemingly woven throughout the walls until another ghost greeted them. Only this was no true ghost. The woman from Willem's dreams, the auburn-haired beauty dressed in black, now introducing herself as the Lady Ophelia. When they finally confronted her in the heart of the estate, they discovered that she had spellbound Wilbert Wathem centuries ago, feeding off of his life force to sate her longevity. Beyond that, she revealed to Willem that his old boyhood friend was the spirit trapped inside that very strange doll. His body used to fool the townspeople of Conway's Ferry into thinking that Willem had died amongst his parents when they set fire to his home. Despite all this, Willem agreed to strike a deal with Ophelia. She would tell him everything there was to know about his life and what happened that day. He need only secure her seer's eye, stolen away by one of her sisters, the very same who placed the contract atop his head that sent Lazer Hawk hunting for him. But when it rains for this party, it pours. For when Branwen ventured down to check on Sina, who they left guarding their horses, they found her gone, along with Gunthorium, Laserhawk's newly prized horse. And so that's where we find ourselves. The rain has come to a stop largely, but you can feel the subtle chill of the mist upon your skin as tiny droplets dance in the sky around you. It feels later in the day, with what little light breaking through the clouds seeming to come from further down the horizon.
Hey, Willem. I don't know
Yep.
why I said it like that. Hey, Willem, are you good?
What do you mean good? That was the second most
Just
dramatic
for like
thing.
for the next 10 minutes, are you good?
Yeah.
Cool. I take off, I get on Whisper and I start riding.
I get on donuts. I start writing after her, and I say that
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm gonna. Oh, I think we lost. Oh, is it me?
Well,
No.
What?
it is now you and Willem standing by only one horse.
Hey, what the fuck just happened?
Um. I think they went off to go find Gunthorium. Um. So I guess we
Clearly the
better.
most important missing element of this situation. Would you
Yeah.
maybe while they go find Gunthorium and probably Cena, do you want to talk about our feelings?
Um. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But we should probably like more Sorkin.
Yeah, we'll Sorkin and talk about our feelings because oh boy, I'm sure we got a lot of them.
So you two are not joining in the chase?
No, she said
They're
be
like,
right
couldn't
back
be
in 10 minutes.
bothered.
Okay. So Branwen and Laserhawk, you two ride off. Make a perception check as you begin your frantic ride.
24.
Okay.
15.
You can clearly see with your tracker eyes that the tracks left in the earth by
Hi.
Gunthorium are clear and fresh, barely muddled in the light drizzle. So if anything, she's only just charged off. Um, and we will now enter a chase, and I will have Bramwin and Laserhawk pick whomst among you will be the leader for this particular round.
Oh no. My horse is faster.
It does not matter. You both have 40 feet of movement speed from
Oh
your
my
horse.
gosh. I
You
want to
have
lead.
10 seconds to decide. Okay.
I'm leading. I'm leading. I'm
Um,
leading.
Branwin, you are leading. Make a roll a d20.
D20. Oh man,
Is
I'm
it
so
gonna be
bad
a
at
good
rolling.
day or a bad day? It's a bad
2.
day.
Okay. Wow.
Guys,
You
take me first.
as you race ahead, you are able to see in the distance, maybe about 160 feet ahead of you,
160?
a
Can I get 10 more feet on that?
no. It's
Damn it.
160, and you are able to see in the distance, about 160 feet away, what looks like a large white horse, just full bore riding down the mountain. And now, because of that, you have lost this particular round. I will have you roll again on a d20.
Me again?
You wanted to
I
lead.
should
Can I
not
pass
have
her?
You cannot.
15. 15.
Okay. Oh, great. Now I get to roll.
Oh no.
Boulders.
I hate
Laserhawk, you have 10 seconds to say what you are doing to speed up this effort.
I'm going, yeah, yeah, come on, donuts.
So loud.
Okay, roll a animal handling check.
Can I cast a spell? I want to cast sending.
7.
Not yet. 7. You are able to sufficiently urge donuts along, and you feel like you've maybe caught up a little bit, but Sina appears to be keeping pace with you. It's now a new round, and you two can pick a new leader.
Lazer Hawk's leading.
All right.
Okay.
Laserhawk, you can make a decision of how you are going to close the gap in this particular round.
Um, I'm gonna kind of stand up on donuts like I'm riding a
Mhm.
bike and I'm trying to go fast.
Okay.
And I'm
Make an
can I cast animals speak to animals?
sure.
Oh my
Okay.
god, what does Donut's voice sound like? I'm
I'm gonna
so
cast
excited for
speak to
this.
animals, and I'm gonna go. Donuts, it is imperative that we find your friend Gunthorium. Can you
Gimborg.
go any faster for me, buddy?
So you are standing up on donuts to urge the horse along. I will have you make an acrobatics check to maintain your balance.
Oh my
Okay.
god. 7.
That is okay,
We're
because
the worst at this.
as you continue to charge ahead, you see Sina up ahead, the horse seemingly losing its footing and skidding out for a moment before resuming the chase. You hear Donuts respond back to you as you race off and charge it along with with your ankles around its haunches. I'm doing the best I can, sir. I'm doing the best I can.
You're doing
Um,
great, Donuts.
and you
No.
have so if we hear, hold on. Oops, wrong die.
Back
How
at the
far away?
haunted house, Willem is just sitting there like chucking rocks with Dunk and being like, "It's kind of shitty that they stole your horse and didn't tell us where they were going."
Yeah,
Context clues, bud.
mean-
Context clues.
especially
So
you know,
you
considering they were like my horses
Hmm.
before they were anybody else's.
Yeah.
But
you
I'm
feel
okay with.
oh sorry.
Sorry, I'm used to things, not quite going to plan these days. So
Sort of the name of the game.
well, it's fine.
Ranwin and Randy, Lazer Hawk, you feel as though you have caught up a bit on Sina, and the blur that she was ahead of you is now a bit finer in detail, and you can even see how frantically she's charging Gunthorium on.
How
New
far away?
round.
Yeah, how far away are they?
I would say that they are about 110 feet away now.
Could it
Can
be?
I cast a message? Just a message cantrip real quick. It's free action because I'm just talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna message her. Sina, stop. Switch horses with me. That's all it. That's all we want. Just switch horses with me.
Good persuasion check.
Can I give myself? Can I bonus action? Give myself inspiration.
You may
I got
not.
this. Damn it. Damn. Okay. Persuasion. I'm charismatic, right? 15.
It's like you can see in the distance the horse again comes a little bit clearer into view as she kind of pulls up on the reins just a little bit. Then you see her shoulders shrug as she continues to ride harder. But you feel like you've gained even a little bit more ground. She's about 95 feet away from you now.
Okay.
She's
And it
95
is
feet away.
yes.
Can I
No.
take out my crossbow?
No.
You can attempt to make a moving shot against her this round. It will be at disadvantage.
No.
And we need to
I'm gonna.
take a.
I scream at Lazer Hawk the moment he pulls that thing out. The
Uh,
moment he whips it.
I
Put it
like
back
I
where it came
start to
from with
aim it,
the
realize my aim's kind of unsteady, and I go, I can't hit Gunthorium, and I put it away. Or I just kind of keep it at my side.
So you all have to. I'm going to say that that was your action for this particular round,
That's fair.
attempting
Damn
to
it.
shout at
I
her
was just
and
talking.
pull the pull out your crossbow. So I'll have you pick a new leader for this fourth round.
Lazer Hawk.
All right. How are you making up ground in the chase?
I am going to lean forward in a gamer position and
I know.
try to be more aerodynamic.
Make an athletics check.
23.
All right. So you, as you spur Donuts on, you feel like you're making up incredible ground. The wind whipping past your face as you charge down the mountain, the gravel kicking up from all underneath your horse's hooves. And Sina will roll on the event table, and she too will have a snap opportunity. And we're gonna re-roll because that was rolled by the DM. All right. Um, and as you look up ahead, let's see here. All right. As you look up ahead, you see a small group of mountain goats just milling about across the path, walking straight in front of Gunthorium, and she skids her horse to the side to avoid colliding with them, and like the horse beats his feet into the ground. She tries to ready him up and get him going again, but she's now within 60 feet of you as we
Oh.
begin our next round and pick a leader.
I
Do we
need
both get
30 more feet.
actions?
I need 30 more feet.
You are picking a person to make an action.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. I'm so stressed.
If you need to get closer, yeah, I can, yeah, Lazer Hawk.
Okay, what's
Okay.
Lazer Hawk doing?
I'm just urging him forward and saying, "Go, donuts, go! We're almost
Okay, so at
there."
this point, I'll have you make a
I-
performance check to really edge your
Can
horse
I
along.
can I give can I use my action to give him inspiration?
You can use it as a bonus action to give him inspiration, yes.
I do that.
Because you technically won't have an action this turn.
What does that give me again?
You get to
You
add
succeed.
a D8.
She rolled a nat 1. So you are
Well,
able
not so
to.
fast. Oh, I rolled a nat 20, so
There you go.
Ooh.
So I will say with a nat 20 and Sina rolling a nat 1, she is unable to just angle her horse around the goats that have kind of started to mill about in the pathway of the mountain, and she's actually going to rear her horse around and just rather than say anything or do anything, she's going to put her hands, like clench them around the reins of the horse and just scream at the top of her lungs, like through her gritted teeth as she looks at you as your two horses come galloping up to her, and she's just panting. You can see the spittle flying off of her lips, and she goes, "Fine, fine. Take the horse. Let me go."
with the crossbow out, I go, "You hitchhiking, thieving bitch! I don't care what the fuck or where the fuck you go. I'm taking Gunthorium."
She hops off the
I get off
horse,
whisper.
and she just kind of throws the reins back at you. And as Ibrahim, what are you doing?
I get off whisper.
At this point, Willem and Dunk, as you kind of amble over the hill, you can kind of see down below, about 60 feet ahead of you, the trio kind of making words with one another, having words with one another.
Yeah. Willem sort of crosses his arms and goes, "Yeah, I don't know if I would have done that if I was them. She's dangerous. And women who have been brainwashed and held captive and not allowed to make their own decisions famously love it when you try to chase after them and tell them what to do.
Be fair, probably anybody, not just women.
Probably anybody. Yeah.
Well, I mean, dangerous human trafficking, man.
Yeah.
Really fucks with you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it does. That's why, I want to just leave the girl alone.
Branwen, Laserhawk, how are you approaching Sina?
I'm just gonna lead whisper over to her. I'm just gonna tell her, take this horse if you're gonna take a horse, but it's gonna be safer if we all go together.
You sense her anxiety, like the just very clearly on edge. That as you kind of come alongside her with the horse, she kind of recoils ever so slightly. She goes, "I don't need you. I don't want your help.
Then get.
You're only doing this because he told you to, and his word is nothing to me."
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just worried about you because you're honestly a hot mess right now.
Says
And
the coldest
also,
mess in the world.
When she says that, I lock eyes with Bram and I go,
you are a hot mess right now, and we're on apparently a spooky death road. So you might as well just stick it out with us. You can camp outside for all I care. You can have this horse. We're all going to the same place. We get there
No,
and you can leave.
no, we're not going to the same place. I
You're
heard
literally
her
going to the same place.
again. No, you have different intentions. I have no reason to be with you, no reason to count on you, no reason to trust you. I heard her voice again, and I intend to finish what she started, if only because it gets me to him. And I'll finish things.
Then what are you gonna do?
And finally have a life. And I can do whatever the hell I damn well please.
Fine.
Either let me go
I'll
now,
just
or you're
Okay.
killing me. And
I'm
you'll
not
have
a-
to explain that to Randy.
You guys got a lot of baggage, and I'm not a cop, but you can do whatever the fuck you want right now. And I take on thorium and donuts, and I walk back to the guys I see over the hill.
You can keep your horse. Just leave me now.
I just hold out the reins to her.
I
Take the goddamn horse.
You think you have to help me. You think you have to fix me. But you're just as broken as I am. All of you. You in particular,
Oh,
though. The second
I'm
you
well
start
aware.
believing that, the better things are. Just go. Enjoy what little time you have left.
Fucking lit you up.
Can I just grab her hand, shove the reins into her hand, and then face step away so she can't do anything about it?
She will stand there on the road and kind of lead Whisper off of the road, and just stand there waiting.
I walk back to the rest of the I walk back to the boys.
How'd that go?
Success.
Shitty, just like everything I do. Terrible. It's great. Sorry.
Got your thorium
Nothing
back.
random.
Willem does feel a little bit bad when you say that.
And I hand back donuts to Dunk. I give him the reins. I go, apologies for the horse stealing.
Horse borrowing.
Horse borrowing.
Is Sina still like within earshot?
No, she is out of earshot, kind of bottom of this slope that you're on. But she is within, like, you can see her, and she's not
Take the
moving.
horse.
I'm just gonna say that, like, we promised Randy we'd take care of her. At least now, she's got a horse, a good horse. She can take care of herself.
I agree.
Should we
Okay.
keep going?
Well, yeah, we're all going the same place anyway, I think.
Cool. Can I ride with someone?
Oh yeah, we're probably down a horse now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gunthorium can easily take 2 people.
All right, I'll ride with Lazer Hawk.
There's someone you wanted to ride with, and it was Dunk.
Honestly, see, but the thing is, I don't know if Dunk's. I think we established last time that Dunk's horse wasn't gonna handle Dunk and somebody else.
Yeah, Donuts
Dunk's.
not the best looking horse.
Yeah,
I
Dunk's,
thought
and we have our
Donuts and
non-Euclidean
Gunthorium were
Dunk.
like
4 horses.
Yeah, but you're huge.
Yeah, but he's also got foldy self. He can fit places. Vampire negligee.
Bring Tupperware, come get some jambalaya.
What?
So I guess he just made a
I said
bunch.
vampire
I figured
negligee.
might as well go get some free food.
Yeah.
And then we can just.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Laura.
He's going off again.
Okay. It's probably fine.
Laura, hi.
So
Okay,
fucking.
Hi, Laura.
That's
Hi,
right.
Laura. Yes.
Do you want me to take him out now before I leave?
Yeah, or at least just turn the oven off. You can leave them in there.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
You're having jambalaya?
Yeah, stepdad, in-law made some extra jambalaya, so.
Wow.
That dark
It's the
oil.
most Louisiana thing I've ever heard.
All right.
All right.
So you all are continuing on your journey. Lazer Hawk
Sina-
and Branwen. What?
Is Sina? Where is Sina now? Is she just like awkwardly riding
She's-
ahead of us?
She is actually standing and waiting for you all to kind of ride past her.
I don't look at her. I just look sad.
All
Good
right.
riddance.
Willem will say, we promised Randy that we'd take care of you, but I think you can look after yourself, and you're a free woman for the first time in your life. Make the most of it.
She says nothing to you.
A curt nod, and I continue on.
Indeed.
I'm
You
just gonna give
all
the white guy,
ride
like,
on.
You give her the white person
Oh,
smile.
go. Totally understandable. And you all continue on. You are back in the rugged path of the mountains now. You kind of left the plateau where Watham's settlement previously was as you head on down, further down the mountains and through the range. And despite your encounter in the house and the rain, the sun sets rather quickly, and the chill of the evening is upon you within about another hour and a half or so. So it is about time for you to make camp for the evening when the time inevitably comes.
Sounds good.
How far away are we from Conway's Ferry?
You're about another half day's ride.
Okay. As I do, I go, hold up. I will make camp here tonight. Only a half day's ride to Conway's Ferry, and a half day's ride to. All right.
Articulate.
I am gonna sit down and start casting Tiny Hut.
what time is it?
Time to go
It's
watch.
about like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay.
It's a dentist's favorite time.
2:30.
8:30, 9 o'clock.
That one got away from us. So what are the rest of you doing?
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna look around and see if I could find something to eat. I guess I can't really hunt this time of night, but like.
No, but you can make a survival check to find some roughage.
My Outlander background lets me find food and fresh water for myself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers very small game water and so forth.
It offers quite a bit of berries as well as a good number of mushrooms. So, Willem, you kind of escort Dunk around through some of the surrounding craggly, rocky terrain, and a bit like when you were coming into the mountains, there is a growing number of trees and dense shrubbery that occupy some of the space that makes for better scavenging than you would have had earlier in your journey.
Nature boy.
So,
Nature boys.
in between handfuls of berries, I'm just like, so, you're dying, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
What do you plan on doing about that?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I don't want you to die for whatever it's worth.
I appreciate that.
And anything I can do to help you out, just let me know, and I think we can find a way through this.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. We always do. Even if it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Are you like trying to not get angry now? Is that what you're going for, or are you gonna just say sort of fuck it?
I guess it depends on how angry I get. I guess I'm trying to kind of keep it under wraps, but
I've heard that deep breathing exercises can be good for that, and so that's something we can work on together if you'd like. Because I could do with a bit of evening it out myself. That was the second worst day of my life that just happened. So yeah.
Well, I think we've all had some second worst days of our lives.
Yeah.
Lately.
Remember when Branwen died?
Yeah, that was probably maybe her worst day.
Yeah, that would be my worst day, probably.
Except maybe when she like came back, that might have been pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, kind of funny. Kind of funny though, because like, we're not supposed to be here, and we're like, we're here anyway. Oh,
Surprise!
yeah. She's very dramatic, like typical woman. Am I right? Well,
Lazer
that's
Hawk
gonna
and
explain the
Branwyn, what are you doing?
I'm roasting some dogs by the fire, or I'm just
So
gonna
your
chill.
feet,
We don't have
Really?
dogs.
your feet are out by the
Just
fire.
wild dogs.
Yeah.
To note, in the tiny hut, it can be nice and I can make it whatever temperature inside I want, so it's nice and cozy in there. And yeah,
Oh,
I would like to cast Sending to El Rey really quick,
Hmm.
because I haven't checked in a while.
Yeah.
I am just gonna say, "Hey, girl, hey." Those words don't count because they're part of the ritual. They're part of the casting of the spell.
Yep.
Daddy not dead, but gone. Brandy too. Sister was here, gone too. Headed to Conway's. No Draken Voss? What are you wearing?
Okay. He will respond. Always a pleasure to hear your voice. And then I guess your sister being here will raise eyebrows. Unfamiliar with Draken Voss.
Insight check.
Can you insight
I'm
a
gonna say
sending?
with disadvantage. I'm just gonna say
Sure.
with disadvantage because it's sending.
Sure.
I rolled an 18 and a 17.
He is
for a total
unfamiliar.
of 22. Okay.
Yeah, he is unfamiliar with Draken Voss. And he'll end his sending to you, back to you and say, Ferry is incredibly dangerous. Be careful.
Did he say what he's wearing?
Oh, sorry. Lavender robes.
can I go over to Brandon's tiny hut and knock on the door?
You're in the tiny hut.
We're all in the tiny hut.
Yeah, everyone can go in the tiny hut.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah.
It's like a 10-foot dome.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't realize. I thought it
It's
was
nice and cozy in
I was
here.
imagining like a really tiny hut that you have to like crouch in or something. Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna say. So. Why do you keep her around again? She doesn't seem like as tight with you guys as the other ones.
Well, we don't really keep her around. You were here at a very strange time. Basically, we had a friend called Randy, but he kind of left, and he had a history with her, and she's got a whole lot of problems.
A girlfriend?
Yeah. Randy's girlfriend, no, it was like a father-daughter kind of thing, but like really messed up.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like if you've seen the famous bardic play The Last of Us, but the two main characters hated each other. Well, actually, no, the girl hated him, but he just made all the bad decisions.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a great guy.
No, he was actually pretty great. He just messed up a lot in his past. He's trying to fix it.
Well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, I think everyone's coming back with food. I was gonna see if you had any song requests.
Do you know there's a song called Big Iron?
Yeah, I know that one. I'll take out a little fiddle, whatever it is, and just start doing a nice, gentle rendition of.
The Cowboy Gunfighter Ballad classic Big Iron by Marty Robbins.
Yeah,
Make a performance check.
that's so rude. I'm trying. That is a 13. I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, you're a little rusty, but the tone is there. The tune is present. You can Lazer Hawk. You kind of get the sense that this is a personal rendition of a song that you know well and was part of
The
your
Fey version's a
childhood.
little different.
Yeah, it's
That's
an E minor.
That's beautiful. My pa used to play that for me.
Same.
All right. Anyone else doing anything before they head to bed?
Oh, hey, check out all these berries Duncan I brought back.
It
Oh
was good.
shit!
And then most likely won't give you diarrhea.
Most likely.
Most likely.
Well, that's all we can hope for.
Hawk, before we head to bed, could I have a word?
Lazer Hawk, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm calling you Hawk for short.
don't like
I
it.
feel like it's kind of disrespectful.
Don't like you. So,
I think you should call someone by the name that they want to be called.
Brandon, I think you get me.
You don't have to like somebody, but you don't have to call them the wrong name, you know?
Yeah.
Willem sort of turns to Branwyn and then Dunk, like raising a finger about to say something, and the words just get stuck in his mouth, and he walks out of the tiny hut.
Oh,
Son of a
Oh,
bitch.
well,
I'm gonna put down my little whatever instruments it is, and I'll go after. Oh, I can't go after her, or else the tiny
Yo.
hut will disappear.
oh yeah.
I'm just going out for a breather.
yeah. I'll
Be
go
back.
talk to him. He said he wanted to talk to me, and I'll crawl out of the tiny hut.
Yeah. So, what do you plan on doing once we get back to the ferry?
To be totally honest, I was planning on just turning you in, getting my 10,000 gold, but circumstances have changed a little bit. I think
Yeah, probably doesn't feel great that you made a deal with a hag, huh?
I have nothing against hags. I have something against you turning into a hag specifically.
I'm gonna need you to walk me through that one, please.
Yeah. Hags are a danger to the world. I'm not really a fan of them, but
Mm-hmm.
you, the potential to be a hag,
Mm-hmm.
I could prevent one more person from not being a hag.
And you would do this by turning me into a hag, like physically turning me into a hag.
Like I said, circumstances have changed.
Yeah, understood. So I was gonna offer you a deal of sorts, which is to say, I would go with you willingly, consensually, and without a fuss. But I want you to find somebody for me. He's in the ferry, and it wouldn't be hard.
Um, who?
His name's Bernard.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know him.
You two work together, or
Not quite. I may have talked to him when I was looking for a contract. He didn't have one.
yeah, real mean bastard. Sort of initiated the riot that led to my parents' house getting burned down, and I'd like to settle the score
How so?
with violence. You're a man who understands a transaction. He's got a debt that needs to be paid.
If I say yes to this, I think that we kind of have the same goal here. Look, I'm not a huge fan of hags, but there's some things that I would like to obtain from Ophelia as well. Things that she promised me. For the same.
Really?
Yes.
Well, my plan, to be quite candid with you, is to go meet this sister of hers, find out what she wants with me, and then maybe see or let her know that her sister wants her C&I back, and then see what sort of arrangement and chaos we can get up to there.
I think we can find this agreeable, Willem.
Willem extends his hand for a shake.
And it's, as always, my best in my best interest to keep you alive, because this deal
Understood.
with Ophelia will not go through if you are no longer with me.
Understood. We get to the ferry. You turn me in where your contract said to. You get your money. We figure stuff out with the hag. We maybe get that eye, and then you bring me Bernard.
Got a deal, son.
Much obliged.
I shake his hand.
All right.
And
Anyone else
all
doing
this
anything
happened
before
in the
they?
background. That whole conversation happened with the background accompaniment of whatever Dunk's request was for music.
Hold on. I got it. I know exactly what it is, but I don't remember what it's called. I want Superman by Goldfinger.
Yeah, I'm playing
Is that the one that's like?
What?
Is that
That's
the one?
that's the song
I'm
from
thinking
Tony
this-
Hawk's Pro Skater.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
that.
Okay. All right. Anyone else doing anything before they slip off to Dream World?
I think I'll take first watch, and as I'm doing first watch, I'm gonna since I slept through that other night because I was exhausted, I was so sleepy. I'm gonna just kind of tinker with that broken fiddle and see if I can just slowly start patching it up a little.
Can I have a very quick word with Willem before we go to bed?
Yeah, Willem sort of like turns over in the bedroll and looks at you. Just a private conversation.
Willem, I just have to say that for you specifically, just I know you already know this, but you got to be careful with Ophelia.
Oh, and bread.
If you do what you mean
Everyone's
to
gonna
do,
look
she's
what bread looks
just
like.
gonna want you to be a hag, and you don't want to be a
Loaves of
hag,
bread.
I assume.
I don't want to be a hag. And yes, I appreciate your concern. She has let me know though that this
Did you say are you
me
on
turning
mute?
into a hag thing has to be
You don't have your
consensual.
microphone down. You don't have your microphone down.
Yeah, I know, but
Evan, lower left corner, there's a mute button.
yeah, I know, but
Press the
it
mute
should
button,
be.
Evan.
We love you.
Evan, press the mute button.
He's muted.
We love both of you.
Just be careful, boy.
You said you want something from her too, so likewise.
I can't be a hag. Ain't no way a hag's getting to me and making me a hag.
Probably worse things out there than being a hag.
Name one good hag.
Yes.
Ophelia's the first hag I ever met, so
Damn
hands
straight.
back, and yeah, they don't usually go advertising it, as far as I understand.
That's fair.
But you have nothing against hags, or so you said earlier, right? Just people turning into hags.
All right, I don't like hags very much.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I do not want to turn into a hag. I will be careful. You be careful as well.
All right. Good night. Like, go to bed.
All right. Brandon, as you take first watch, I'll have you roll a perception check.
Beep 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 boop bop bop. 17.
Okay. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary, and you continue to kind of tinker with the small viola kind of like instrument that you acquired from Watham's mansion. And you're not really able to get too far with it. It has some splintered wood. You're going to need to take this to a professional without a doubt, and at the very least get new
Yeah,
strings for it.
I'm just like triaging it. I'm just doing
Sure.
like damage control so it doesn't break further almost.
You have a sense of what needs to get done, and you know of like a handful of shops, like shop types that you could take it to for a more expert hand. Who will be taking the second watch?
Lazer Hawk.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you can choose.
You
Yeah, I'll wake up Lazer Hawk.
you rouse Lazer
Our
Hawk
sad
from
boys
his
need some
slumber.
sleep.
Yes. And Lazer Hawk, you kind of lift yourself up from your bedroll, and um, you find that it's quite chilly outside. Like an evening air has
But it's nice
descended
and warm in the
upon,
tiny hut.
but it is nice and warm in the tiny hut, and everybody is in the hut. Correct?
It's big.
Yes.
It's like
Okay.
a 10-foot dome.
Great. So Laser Hawk, I'll have you make a perception check.
11.
Okay. You think you hear some skittering in the woods, but ultimately you choose not to investigate, and the night proceeds without issue. And the next morning even starts with like a bit of an air of optimism. The clouds have finally broken. The rain, however, has brought a kind of terrible chill. So what little rain and mist kind of descended in the night is frosted over on some of the rocks, leaving like a crispness to the canvas of the tents as you roll them up after breaking Tiny Hut. And your breath starts to kind of pool in front of you, and you feel a tinge of the chill on the tips of your ears and your fingers. But from your position atop the mountain, now that the sun has broken, you can see in the distance the specks of buildings popping up along the Chanock River. And after a feeling of dread washes over you, Willem, as you reconcile with your return to the city that drove you out, the site of your parents' death. And descending down the mountain and on the road, unless anybody would like to do anything before the day begins.
Two
Yes.
questions, but Lazer Hawk can go first.
I'm gonna say, hey y'all. Before we get any closer, I feel like I should say that since I've been the only one in Conway's Ferry as of late, things have gotten a little bit rough around. It's gotten a bit quieter, and you don't want to be out at night. There's a curfew, very strict curfew. They almost got me for. Don't worry. But we gotta. Things are kind of weird around here now. So just so you guys know,
Is it on account of the whole cult taking over?
that does seem to be the case. Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Branwen and Duncan and be like, so we probably should not mention that we fought Hansen Dady. Unless.
Or we can just not mention Hansen Deity at all.
Yeah, no, that's what
That's not our business here.
yeah. Yep. Okay, good. Unless of course Sina
You're heading this one, bud.
unless of course Sina is, there and she's like, oh, the Hansen, I was with him and then they were fighting and then he went away and then we might be in some trouble.
Yeah, I do feel like something could happen with that, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. Yeah.
All right.
You're heading this one, bud.
Willem sort of gestures to Lazer Hawk to take the lead. And Chris, I have two questions from you. Do I still have minus to my max hit points? And Ophelia gave me hag magic and said something would happen to me when I took a rest. Do I detect anything?
You do not, but you do have full benefit of your hit points and a full long rest.
Okay.
Yay! It was a good long sleep.
A good long sleep.
So with Lazer Hawk leading the way, you all descend down the mountain, and it's quickly evident how infrequently this road is traveled. The gravel and the stone is loose beneath your feet, making it difficult for even a horse as mighty as Gunthorium to find solid footing, and slowing your pace a bit. But within a few hours, things start to tighten up. The road becomes a bit more trodden and dirt path, and the Rocky Mountains give way to fields of grain. The weather is warmed from the cool chill of the mountains, but only just. And before long, the distant farmsteads that you saw up from the mountain actually loom very close ahead of you. The air is quite still and quiet. There's an uncharacteristic silence um, from the towns that you've become accustomed to traveling to thus far. And some of the first houses that you pass, as you start to see some homesteads, are actually boarded up, seemingly abandoned. But up ahead, you see a middle-aged man kind of hauling barrels between his porch and a shed out in his field.
Before we go any further, Willem is going to use disguise self on self and not appear as a horned boy.
Okay. What are you? How are you disguising yourself?
I'm gonna look like Gordon Trunchmer
Okay.
because that's the first
Got it.
human that came to my mind.
Oh, feel like that's such a bad idea.
Oh
Um,
my god.
That feels like
you
such a bad idea.
It's a
you do
generic
so,
name.
and your compatriots now see a rather taller, middle-aged man with a grizzled beard and a very distinctive scar going down his eye and down his cheekbone,
Do I
and
recognize him at all?
generally kind of matted and messy hair. And yes, Laserhawk, this face is familiar to you. You've seen his picture. You've never met him before, but you are familiar with the leader of the Thieves Guild in Yusan,
Um,
also known
I
as the
look at the
Cinder
man that
Kin.
killed me.
That is also
Oh yeah.
true.
Well, you died by drowning, didn't you?
Technically, he did the final
Not
deed.
entirely.
Yeah.
I'm just staring at Willem.
That's a hell of a face to choose, boy.
Sorry, he was the first human man that I thought of. Sorry. I'm doing my Trunchma voice now.
I forget what he sounds like, but we'll roll with that. Um, you all now walk and see the man kind of hauling barrels up ahead of you. Um, are you continuing to town? Or are you attempting to interact?
What is
I'm not looking at Willem at all.
what did the what did Ophelia say her sister's name was again?
You do not.
Didn't give a
Fuck,
name.
we should have asked. um uh, hello, sir.
He's kind of his mind is elsewhere. He appears to be, and his back is to you. He's got this barrel, and he kind of hears your voice, and he jumps, and he goes, "Sorry, sorry, no, not doing anything that I kind of should." And he just kind of drops the barrel, and without turning over his shoulder, just races into the house.
It appears you've scared the man, Lazer Hawk.
Yeah, shit's gotten a little worse since since I left, I guess. It's only been like a week. Or I don't know. All right.
2.5.
Yeah, sorry.
It's been 2.5 weeks.
Well, all right, let's continue forward.
All right. You press forward, and within a bit, you have an immediate reaction to the fact that Conway's Ferry is distinctly lacking in walls, like any of the other cities that you visited up until this point. And the only way that you really know that you've entered the city proper is that the density of the buildings, what was once few and far between, are now and separated by large farms and animal pastures, are becoming more tightly clustered together, the street of dirt kind of transitioning to the streets of stone. And the houses and structures are quite nice, especially in comparison to like the ramshackle wooden facilities that have been put up in Trowood and Westwatch to kind of suit the burgeoning population. Instead, they've clearly been given a lot of care and attention with their architecture, these kind of Tudor style brick and wood buildings. And within a brief period of time, you can hear the almost deafening roar of the river cutting through the town. But you notice that the streets are distinctly lacking in people, and just about nobody is out and about. You've seen a fair number of closed shops, some with lights on or lanterns in the window, but for the most part, you've seen nobody walking along the streets as you are, especially not on horseback.
Daytime, right?
It is indeed. It's about midday.
I'm gonna cast on all of us Pass Without Trace.
Okay, that gives you advantage on stealth checks.
It says, okay, I'll just read it. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For duration, each creature you have, we have a +10 bonus to dexterity checks. Yeah. And we can't be tracked.
Okay. Yeah, so you are firmly in Conway City proper. Lazer Hawk and Willem, you know this area well enough, even though it's been a bit for you, Willem. And you know the city to kind of be divided in half by the Chinook River. Um, the east side, which is where you have entered from, is largely residential and some artisan districts, but for the most part, it's where most people live, coming from the farms on the outskirts of town. Whereas the commercial and government buildings are on the west side of the river.
Willem looking like Trunchmer, and also the sound of rushing water in the city. Brandon is very uncomfortable.
Understandably so. Where would you
Willem,
all like to go?
he's not going to look at you, Brandon, but he is going to say, I'm sorry. He's the first man that I thought of.
I don't say anything back.
Uh, yeah, I guess I will also turn to Laserhawk and say, weren't you supposed to drop me off by some sort of river?
I was supposed to drop you off at fuck, what was the name? Oh boy.
Greg's house.
At the Oxbow. Which
Well,
I believe we'd probably passed by now, huh?
No, you would know that the Oxbow is on the eastern side of the river, but more north,
Okay.
kind of heading upriver towards some of the smaller settlements north of Conway's Ferry.
All right. Well, let's go to the Oxbow.
Is this a just you guys thing, or are we coming on this whatever is happening?
I feel like it may be suspicious if we all go at once, but if y'all are willing to
Alright,
to be there, you might as well wait outside.
Willem is going to snap his fingers and summon bird cheesers. And
Wait,
sorry.
I
Bird
know, go on.
cheeser
I'll
is
follow.
going to land on Dunk's shoulder, and I'm gonna say, he'll let you know if we have any problems. Try not, don't be in sight, but don't stay too far behind.
I'm gonna find somewhere nearby I can skulk. Preferably. Does the Pass Without Trace, is that still gonna like be?
No, it's only within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
I'm
and I
gonna
assume I have to have,
hop
like, line
off
of sight
of
or something.
Well,
What
unless
was
you're
your
like,
question, Dunk?
for what?
So y'all are gonna be like inside, right?
yeah, if you're like within 30 feet of me, then cool.
Like if I can find somewhere like around the side of the building to kind of
Yeah. Or if you want to just come into the building and, or I'll be in character. Or if you want to come into the building and just kind of chill. I mean, there's no reason that she'd know that you're with us. Just pretend to mind your own business.
I'll come in a little after you. And
Is the Oxbow a
find a
building? I
drink.
thought it was a geological or hydrological feature.
No, it's a tavern.
Oh, okay.
Weird that you would think that.
Haven't you ever heard of an Oxbow Lake?
No.
Oh.
Are you all just standing in the street having this conversation?
I thought you were like Sorkinen. towards
You
the.
are
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
walking.
We always
Got it.
we're always assume we're Sorkinen.
It's not safe to assume. However, as you are, and are you rolling stealth, attempting to be stealthy as you do so, or are you kind of walking through the streets?
Yeah, might as well since I have Pass Without Trace up.
Okay. Everyone can make
So, like,
stealth checks.
side of the road. We get an advantage on stealth checks.
You get a
You have
plus 10.
plus 10 to dexterity checks.
Okay, well that's
Oh, that's a nat 20.
that would be 24.
So that's a total of 36.
I got a
I just
34.
disappear. We don't know
Yeah,
where
so
I
I
went.
have, 34 as well.
Despite clip clopping on cobblestone streets and in broad daylight, you are able to deftly kind of mill about the city. And as you venture deeper into the city itself and kind of take a turn near the river to go further north into the city, you see a couple of shops are open. You every once in a while make a perception check. Anyone? Oh, I've got a new rule that I'm implementing. To make a check, you have to be proficient in the check. Um, and in the change there is that if you're not proficient and want to make the check, it comes with fun flavor.
I am proficient, so
I-
23.
I think I saw the
I
same
am
TikTok
proficient.
That's
today. I like and
that
I
is
was actually
also
gonna,
ours.
I was gonna bring that up. I saw that. I was like,
I
oh,
quite
man, I
like it
really
as
like that.
well.
Yeah.
I want to
Wait,
credit the
what's the
guy.
fun flavor mean?
Yes, so the quick rule break. The concept is that you can't make a ability check without being proficient in the ability. However, if you want to do it, you can, but you have to roll a d20 before making the check. If you roll a 1, you absolutely know something about this, but you're wrong about it. If you roll a 20, you absolutely know something about this and you're right about it. And everything in between is kind of shades of gray. So like you can't not be proficient in history and say, yeah, I totally know about this town, because if you're right, like if you're right, you're right and you absolutely remember, because the idea is like everyone, even if they're not proficient in something, recalls something of nature about this thing. And I want to credit
So if they rolled a 1 on that first roll for history, they're actually thinking of a different
I
town.
got you.
yes, precisely.
or some
Okay, that's fun.
I like it.
And to credit, it is Richard the Wandering DM. So Richard, I know you're a huge fan of the show. Please, we thank you for this insight.
Richard and Dua Lipa.
Richard and
Yeah.
Dua Lipa.
one day.
The two
One day.
patron saints of Holly Hunter.
Two patron saints. Okay, so sorry. Lazer Hawk, you made a perception check.
I did, and I'm proficient, so I got a 23.
All right. You are
I got
able to
22, I'm also
see
proficient.
Branwen and Laserhawk, you are able to see pretty clearly as you make your way through the streets that nobody really lifts their eyes to meet yours as you make your way, and you almost think that that's part of the reason that you're kind of going by unnoticed. Nobody's willing to spend too much time looking up from their day-to-day tasks. People kind of you see people rushing by you with crates or boxes. Some merchants like have their bags of goods that they're bringing to other shops. Nobody's peddling wares on the streets. And every once in a while, you walk by people in those kind of telltale blue robes. But despite your movement through the city, nobody pays you any attention. And before long, you do arrive in a bit of a shabbier part of town. While the buildings are still nice, you can tell they've seen better days. It almost appears as though these were either built quickly or are some of the oldest buildings in the city. Willem, you know this area well enough in that it is a place where your family might have lived if you lived in the city proper instead of on the outskirts of town, because this is where like more of the less fortunate live in the city from a perspective of their economic wealth. Um, it's kind of on the northeast corner of the city, and it's actually not too far from the road that you came in on, but like entered like geographically towards the mountains, but you had to take a different way to get there. It's a rundown looking building, not unlike the others around it, kind of brick and wood, like much of the rest of the city, about 3 stories high. It has a brown shingle roof that has seen much better days. There are kind of bits and pieces that are missing or stacked on top of one another and just precariously perched as though ready to fall onto a wayward passerby at any moment. But hanging above the door is a metal sign, creaking slightly in the breeze, of a winding river snaking through the word Oxbow. And yeah, there is a subtle light glow from inside, but the window is dirty and dusty and really unable to discern much of within.
Lazer Hawk, before we do this, should I pretend to be somebody else once you go to turn in this contract, or should I tell them who I am?
I imagine that we'll go in there. I'll tell them I got you. Um, I'll say that you're disguised,
Mhm.
and then we'll go and do a separate back room so you can show yourself and prove that you're you. I guess from there we'll just uh just wing it. Maybe I'll get the 10,000 and maybe we trailer home afterwards.
Sounds lovely.
And I guess she'll have you, huh? Are you gonna be okay?
That remains to be seen.
I'm a pretty good tracker, so I'm sure we'll find you again, but I need you to be okay.
Yes. You've made that abundantly clear. I hope I'm okay as well. And worst case scenario, I can also, call the other two in.
Absolutely. All right, Will. Hope this isn't our last meeting.
Yeah.
And can the doors be like swinging doors?
Can the doors be like the doors of Helm's Deep when Aragorn walks?
Yeah, like can
They are not
they be like
they're
saloon
not
doors?
swinging doors. I'm sorry, they're not saloon doors. It is a simple wooden door. I promise you'll have an opportunity for saloon doors, but that is sadly not what this particular location is. Especially given the chill of the air, you
What
wouldn't
about
want
Helm's
that
Deep
kind of
doors?
seeping in there. Not Helm's Deep doors either. It's a pretty shabby
Yeah.
door.
But
I
Chris, have you considered the accents that Lazer Hawk and Willem have? There should be
Do, but yeah, I get it, but not
I
now.
I kind of make eye contact with the two others, and I go, uh, "Y'all follow us once it feels like it's been a little while, and just kind of mind your own business in there, or stay out here, I guess."
But we're going.
might as well get yourself something
Dunk,
to
what do you
drink.
want to do?
Yeah, I'll just
I'll stay outside.
I'll come up to the bar and get a drink. So I'm not too like suspicious standing outside.
Cheezers is gonna stay outside with Branwyn.
All right.
The three of you enter the bar, the tavern, and you find despite its lackluster appearance on the outside, you actually find a quite cozy and warm embrace on the inside. Laserhawk, you know this space well. It's a place you've been told to bring many contracts before. You're familiar with the bartender, the tavern owner, Helga Hilltop. She's kind of a gruff, no questions asked kind of dwarven woman, and you recognize her instantly behind the bar. And she kind of even gives you a little like kind of faint nod, um, but nothing too warm or anything of that nature. Um, there is like a general grime to the place. There's some foliage that hangs from the rafters that's meant to kind of give it an earthy, natural vibe, but really it's more like moss that's kind of accumulated from years of rain leaking through the ceiling. And there's even some glass fixtures that let light in from the outside in the roof, almost like skylights. Beyond that, there's a couple of chandeliers where candles hang. No hearth to speak of in the main entrance hall. And at the moment, given the time of day, it's about like 1 or 2 o'clock, just after lunch. The tavern is rather quiet. You see 3 patrons in addition to the barmaid. From where you kind of make a perception check as you walk in.
All of us, or just those who are proficient in it?
For perception, everyone can make perception checks, but for the other checks that
11.
yeah.
I got a
Dirty
9, and I am proficient.
Dirty 20.
Dunk. All of you can kind of see the volume of people in here, but Dunk, as you kind of scan the room, you see a couple of figures that stick out. Mainly, this kind of rotund dwarf who's kind of sitting in the corner, and you see stacked next to him are a handful of empty bowls, and he's working on another one right in front of him. But the food inside of it looks nondescript from where you stand. There's also she definitely appears drunk, if not a little bit tipsy, gnome woman who's kind of plucking away on a lute, but that is horrendously out of tune. And then a kind of a younger woman with just dark white hair sitting to the right.
Did you just say dark white hair?
Stark white.
Stark white. Okay.
I'm gonna sit up next to the dwarf, and I'll just say, I'll take one of whatever he's having, and I'll also like get him one too.
Wow, thanks. It's goose casserole with potatoes. It's very good, very good. Helga really knows how to make it here. But you're a fine man. Thank you for paying for you. You said you got all of them, and he kind of gestures to what you can now count as 5 bowls, and the 6th in front of him.
Well, I'll get one extra for you, but
Good man, good man.
And Helga kind of nods from the bar, and he looks over at you as he kind of funnels the food into his mouth. It smells appetizing enough, but visually speaking, it's kind of just like different shades of brown and gray. And he kind of speaks to you with an open mouth.
Never seen you here before. Not used to strangers, especially these days. You local?
nah, not exactly. Just kind of passing through.
How many people pass through Conway's Ferry these days? You here for something in particular?
Here for the goose stew, man.
He kind of looks, he's like, nobody's here for the goose stew, but I can respect a man who doesn't want to let an old stranger in on the news.
And before long, Helga brings out a bowl of the goose stew and she kind of sets it in front of you. She goes, "You pay your tab when you're done."
Willem
enough.
is going to look to the bartender and say, excuse me, is there somewhere around where I could relieve myself?
He looks at you kind of inquisitively and then shrugs. "Lavatory's in the back, lad."
Much obliged. I'm going to walk into the lavatory and in privacy
As you
cast.
approach the lavatory, you find no doors. You find only swinging wooden parlor doors that afford you entrance to the lavatory.
Okay. Is it at least concealed from view?
Yes, the remaining like the non-entrance is concealed from view.
I'm going to go into the bathroom and cast protection from good and evil on myself, protecting myself from fake creatures
Okay.
before I step out.
Got it.
Hey, wait.
Lazer Hawk, what are you doing?
Are Fae? Are hags Fae?
Hags are fey.
Oh shit! Really? Oh,
Not
Fae.
all hags are fey.
Not all hags. Okay. Can I? Never mind. I'm
Yeah.
gonna approach Helga. I'm gonna
Okay.
say, "Hey, Helga. Would it be assumed that I have like the poster with like the contract on it or something
Yeah.
on me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna like unroll it and show it to her and say, you know who put this up? I'd like to have a word with them.
You know better than I do that I don't ask questions of my patrons, Lazer Hawk. A couple people have come in asking about it. Not surprised to see you off on about it.
Yeah. Well, sorry for asking.
Don't worry about it.
Then can I try to, I don't know, can I track her? the fake hag? She's my
Do
favorite
you
enemy.
Faye?
Yeah.
This man hates hacks.
Can you describe the favored enemy ability?
I have advantage on survival checks to track my favorite enemies, as well as intelligence checks to recall information about them.
I'm gonna say that you're in a bar where
Yeah,
you don't know when or where you're able to drop him off. So
that's
I'm
kind
not
of
gonna. I don't think you can track from here.
okay. Then I'm gonna look around. Do I see anyone who might look like Ophelia at all?
Make an investigation check.
Any smoking hot babes?
I am not a fit. I am not proficient.
It's just we're gonna call like just for like history, religion, the things that like you
Oh,
need to
okay.
know. Yeah.
Got it. I got a 13.
Okay. As you kind of scan the room, you see the portly dwarf and the drunken gnome who strike you as pretty regular patrons, like very similar to the people that you've seen. The young woman with white hair is a bit peculiarly beautiful for this space that attracts your attention.
I'm gonna wait for Willem to come out of the bathroom and then head on over there.
I come out, sort of adjusting my pants. I think Steph has something to say or ask.
Yes, Bradman.
All of these characters need to roll.
Oh, sorry. Um, Helga is an 8.
Oh, damn!
You know, she's a bit older, shorter, because she's a dwarf. Um, the man that Dunk is eating with is a 6. Wow, not great here in the Conway's Ferry Tavern. The petite drunken bard gnome is a 7, and then like I can't make it up, 17 for the young, peculiarly beautiful woman.
Yeah,
Way better by comparison.
we're
I
gonna
mean,
sit down
pretty good.
at her table or wherever she's at.
You sit down at this woman's table and you get a good look at her. She's very like lovely, kind of unblemished caramel skin, and but yet the hair is just a complete contrast of white that kind of billows over her shoulder, and she kind of has it covering a bit of her face as she looks down and kind of thumbs through and shuffles a deck of cards in front of you. And she goes, "Goodness, not so often that I get visitors here." And she's going to kind of like push the hair back and reveal this like just nasty scar kind of cutting down her right eye.
Oh, we match.
Uh, I'm gonna take out the poster rolled up. I'm gonna just kind of discreetly shove it across the tail and go, "This you."
I
She
really
kind of
am so sorry.
pulls her hands up and looks and she goes, "It doesn't look like me, does it, darling? It looks a lot like a boy with horns, and unfortunately not a very good sight."
Don't play coy with me. Did you put up the contract?
10,000 gold is a lot of money. A lot of money that I do not have living in this shithole. You think that I would need a bounty on this little boy? Why would I want a little boy?
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
Nat
All
one.
right.
Oh my god,
Um,
it's finally here. His food.
Also, my
She
room was
doesn't.
and the door was locked.
She doesn't really give off anything beyond like genuine confusion. And who is this tall drink of sun tea? She kind of gestures over to you, Willem. I am delighted when two men decide to join my table, but what do I owe this pleasure? Are you interested in a game of cards? She kind of gestures to the deck in front of her.
Is it a weird looking deck?
No, without even an investigation check, it looks like a standard deck of cards.
All right, using my favorite enemy, can I at least tell that this is a Fae?
Make an intelligence check. Just a
Okay.
straight intelligence
Yeah.
check.
Ooh, 18.
Something's not quite right about her, and it feels eerily familiar.
I
And
lean into
as
a
you kind of look at her and kind of inspect her, she kind of leans back in her chair and grabs the edges of it and smiles. You want to ask me something? Just ask, darling. Staring is extra.
As she leans back, I'm gonna lean forward and I'll whisper really quiet. You know, most hags don't choose to have a scar.
She has no affect to the question or the statement that you've raised. She just kind of like continues to break your meet your gaze unbreaking. And she
I
goes,
have the
I think
boy.
it adds a lot of character. If you have the boy, where is he? Is it this disguised man in front of me who does not know how to carry himself in such a well-to-do body?
I
Or
look
are we
over at
twins?
Willem. Correct.
She'll turn to you, Willem, and just say, if you're going to disguise yourself, you should not familiarize yourself with a well-known dead man.
First man I could think of. And I would have thought you would say something when I walked in, considering you made me.
There's many creations, and I am just interested to see why you have brought yourself here willingly. I posted a bounty. I expected you to come, well, a little less willingly, some ropes, some chains. Really, anything besides willingly.
He's
Is it
not.
because of your name? Willem? Willem willingly? Is that what you were going for?
I wouldn't say he's here willingly.
Oh. So are you expecting payment?
Correct.
Well, that is interesting.
Him and I struck a
Because
deal, and he'll go with you.
a deal is just kind of continues to like shuffle the cards back and forth. Just a deal. Like to have come to a deal. And you think
And
that
you can respect a deal, can't you?
sure, I love a good deal. Um, but I have to ask, it is not every day that someone is told that there is a $10,000 price on their head and says, "Sure, I will go, and you can take your money too." It's just you have to imagine my curiosity. What are you hoping to gain here?
He's hoping to gain the life of his friends. I promised I wouldn't kill him if he came with
Well,
me.
what you decide to do with make a deception check.
No, I don't want to. It's not good.
Are you proficient in deception?
I'm not.
You could tell from the moment I said that rule, Willem was not a fan.
5.
She kind of snickers a little bit and leans back and says, his friends were never part of the bargain. I really only wanted him. And I'll be honest, I don't care if you come willingly or not. It is almost a little bit of a blessing that you have decided to come back to us. You were always one of our favorite creations. But
I
the
don't
fact
think
is,
so.
I am not the woman you seek.
I'm not. Would that be your sister?
No, it's just someone I work for.
Hmm.
And hmm,
Were you aware that we met your sister, by the way?
She's not my sister, like I said. She's
Oh,
a sister.
sure. Well, sister in the capital S sort of sense.
Not that either. Like I said, I'm just an interested party.
Mm,
Oh my god. I could not believe I did not have the opportunity to introduce myself. And she kind of sticks her hand out to both of you. She goes, Thalia, it's a pleasure to meet me. I tell you what, you came here willingly, and I know that she is a woman of honor. She'll want to get you her gold. You deserve it. You brought them here in one piece, which is more than most people would have tried to do, especially, given his history. So, I'll tell you this. There is a grove, not too far north of here. I think there is something there you would like to see. She will come, and she will give you your gold.
Chris, is this
Yeah.
the Grove?
Strikes a tug in your mind, but,
Mm.
there are lots of groves. Um, and if you're interested in a game of cards before you go, enjoy the beer. They have very good goose stew here. There's no need to go rushing off. Um, Perhaps you tell your little girlfriend to come in from outside. She must be cold.
Thanks, but no thanks. We'll be on our way now.
Do you don't want your money?
At the Grove, right?
Oh, okay. It sounded like you were just going to leave. I shouldn't read into things. My apologies. Um, Branwen, while you are standing outside, I'm going to leave this conversation for just a moment. Are you doing anything in particular?
Being sad.
I was just waiting. I'm just waiting. I just want to keep tabs on who's walking by, and I've got my hood up for my cloak of elvenkind, and I'm trying to blend in. I'm like Assassin's Creed style blend in. So I'm kind of hiding ish.
Okay. So I'll have you make both a perception and a stealth check.
I'm proficient in both.
Dunk
Perception is going
sent
to
the
be
better
16.
rules in the chat. Okay.
Oh, okay. And stealth is a dirty 20.
You are able to seamlessly blend in, you kind of tuck around an alleyway between the Oxbow and some of the surrounding buildings, and you make note of a couple of people that have walked by. Again, villagers, not really as much, no townies that seem to be walking by, but a particular trio of individuals has kind of been walking up and down this block, all wearing the notable blue robes of the cultists. Specifically, you see a younger woman. Whoops, where are my notes? You see a younger woman who has a kind of her head shaved down on one side and the rest kind of braided over to the left to hang over her shoulder. And then there's this kind of big hammer that dangles from her loop on a belt. It was originally what caught your attention. You kind of hear it jingling as she makes her way down the street, but she's flanked by a pair of cloaked figures. But she kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because she's not wearing the hood. Her hair is very bright, and she's not really attempting to be quiet in any way. And you rolled a 14 perception.
Yes.
You don't really hear much of the conversation as they go about their business, but you do hear the name Sigmund several times as they walk up and down the street. Willem and Lazer Hawk, as you sit again and kind of converse with Thalia, the gnome is going to kind of walk over to you, kind of strumming her lute, and kind of lean against you, Willem. Just go, "You want a song? I know some good songs."
Willem is just sort of gonna shrug his shoulders and be like, Sorry, not looking right now.
Talia will respond, "Oh, that's good. I love your accent. You really tried to show us that you're not from here. But even in your disguise, it's very clear, honey."
Perhaps you should speak a bit more quietly, Talia. We have
Oh,
guests
we don't
about.
want to disturb all the people in the tavern. No, I think we'll be okay.
I dislike you immensely.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I think you'll like what we bring to the table tonight. And she turns to you, Lazer Hawk, and she goes, "And really, what could be wrong about 10,000 gold? Like, I wish I had 10,000 gold. Oh my god."
Your employer, what's her name?
She will introduce herself.
That's convenient.
Willem is sort of going to scratch his chin a little bit and hold up a finger and be like, Lazer Hawk, wasn't the terms of your deal that you would bring me to the Oxbow and then receive 10,000 gold? I believe the deal has been altered.
I look at Willem and I look back at Talia and I go, "That's a good fucking point, Willem. Seems this contract was a little bit misleading, which is a little bit strange for hags."
To be fair, it is not a contract, it is a bounty poster. And it certainly says bring him to the Oxbow, which you have done. And it certainly says 10,000 gold, which you will get. But it does not say that you will get the tier. Nobody signed anything. You have simply agreed to an opportunity. And my boss will ensure that your opportunity is well rewarded.
I look back at Willem and I go, "That's a good point, Talia."
I'm sort of going to look at Lazer Hawk, my mouth
You're
agape.
going to start and be like, it's like you've never done a bounty before.
This is this is hag trickery, something I would expect you to be upset about. Altering the terms, weeding between the lines.
This accent is very fun. I think you should keep it.
Noted. Will we be seeing a lot of each other?
I don't know. That really is up to you.
I hope not.
I don't have anything more to do with you, Talia. Come on, Willem,
I
let's go.
love her.
Seems we have an appointment at a grove. Talia, wish I could say it was a pleasure. It was anything but.
Not that for now. Okay. And you all will leave the tavern.
Willem is going to go. Dunk, we need to go.
I'm gonna flip the bartender a considerable more gold that I'm sure that the two stews were worth.
You give her 5 gold per se.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stew.
That more than pays for the stews. And while you're having this conversation with this dwarf who you've come to know as Modric, Modric will kind of nod to you through a mouthful of food and goes, "Good people. Good people." And it is
Take my
about,
non-existent.
yes, it's about late after, like 3 o'clock. Disguise self does only last an hour, Willem. So you do know that it's about time that it's going to be wearing off. But will you be doing anything, or are you just going to wait for darkness? You all kind of coalesced in the outer alley.
Willem is going to sort of look at Branwyn and take off the disguise in sort of a hidden area. And you go, there was someone in there who you would have loved. She was really, really irritating and also kind of hot.
Yeah, Willem,
So,
usually I
did you guys get like paid or whatever?
No, very much no. They're doing hag shit.
normally I would be mega pissed right now, but I don't have the energy to spend on her when she's not the one I need. So let's go to the fucking grove, shall we?
Yeah, we have to go to some grove and get payment there.
Okay.
It's where we'll find her sister, Ophelia's sister. That was not her.
Are we doing that tonight?
I think we're doing that now.
She told you
Unless,
to come at nightfall.
Oh, okay.
oh well,
Cool.
I suppose we have a few hours to kill. So, is there anything you'd like to see in my illustrious hometown?
The goose stew is
Um,
pretty good.
Willem is going to go over to the river and look at himself in the water and look at his reflection and go, "Oh, these are probably going to be an issue, huh?"
I'll say you can look at yourself in a nearby window. The river is
Okay,
still a little bit away, and also not that kind of river. It's like a really fast river.
that kind of river.
Um, yeah.
I'll
It's a
admire
don't let
myself.
small children near it kind of river.
I'll look at myself in
Yeah.
a window of the tavern.
Yes.
Ooh,
And
wait,
you can pull your hood up and kind of pull them around it, but you get the sense that yes, these would definitely be noticeable, but also like you haven't seen too many people.
mhm. This
Do we
also
need to
may
do any shopping?
uh I don't know. Did you see any good shops on the way into town? There's probably a general goods store,
Did
among
I
others.
see a little ramshackle like instrument repair shop? Like the one
You
that's
did
it
you did
definitely
not.
smells kind of musty and it's like the oldest man you've ever seen works there.
You did not. This is based on what Lazer Hawk and Willem have shared with you. This is more of like the residential side of town. Like there are some shops and taverns and like restaurants, but most of the shops that you passed by were closed. What you did see was an alchemy shop, at the very least, that you noticed was open. But if you want to talk to your friends Lazer Hawk and Willem, they might be able to recommend a place or two.
Hmm. How much time do we have to kill? That's the thing.
It's about 3 o'clock. So 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, so long.
Yeah.
Damn.
You are free to
Um,
explore the city. You can also just say that you take your downtime and take a short rest in the tavern. Um, it's whatever you'd like to do.
Chris, is Grove Willem miss something you wanted to do next session or something you have prepared for tonight?
I'm prepared for everything.
Oh,
In that
okay.
case, I'm going to attack Willem. No. Uh,
I stab Willem through the chest.
PvP.
Everybody always turns on me.
Look, I most if I weren't with you, I might hit up some old bounty hunter compatriots and get a drink, but I'm afraid you're too precious of cargo to really be traveling around and advertising.
I do have
Again, Willem, it's your call.
two things I'd like to do. One is I'm gonna need somebody to go into that alchemy shop for me because I cannot go in, obviously. And I want you to see if they have a recipe book or any weird ingredients or something like that that I could give to Gwen.
You want us to go shopping for your girlfriend?
Well, I cannot go in, obviously.
Why don't you
Oh,
just like disguise self again and like make yourself look like I don't know,
Gwen.
Lorelai or something like that?
I can only disguise self once a day. It's
Hmm.
it's a hex blood thing, not a spell I know how to do. Which is why I would like you to go shopping on my behalf. Yes, I will make it worth your while. Or
I just grab Dunk by his non-Euclidean arm and I just drag him
Yeah.
into the shop.
Yeah, let's go
All right.
shopping.
So you all make your way through the city to find the store that you walked past on the way in. Are you attempting stealth again, or are you kind of walking more freely now?
are we still
I think
passing
just
without trace?
That is
I think
1 hour
past that
though.
Triss, like, yeah, oh, 1 hour, so no.
Okay.
I think if if it's just the two of us kind of walking around, then I think we really need to because somebody's gonna recognize
We're
us.
following you, I think. We're just gonna hang out
Oh,
in an
okay.
alleyway or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah.
You all make your way through the city, kind of down a few blocks or so, and ultimately find a little wooden building, not unlike the rest. It's down the street a ways from where you started first entering the city, but this one is actually kind of like a nice, quaint little part of the residential area where there's this kind of lattice woodwork that extends between the two buildings on either side of the street and kind of string throughout to some greenery and vines and even a lantern or two, which gives it a nice kind of warm and inviting feel in this otherwise very kind of cold city at the moment. Hanging from the building, this kind of like wooden row house with a yellow tile roof, um, is a small wooden sign that reads Olives Tonics.
Hmm.
Well, let's go, Dunk.
Yeah. I don't know what that sign says, so but I'm sure this is the
I
olive
can't
shop.
Oh yeah, I
read.
forgot we decided we can't read.
Yeah, like if there's, I don't know, if there's like a cool spell book or recipe book or some like a pretty flower or something, I think she would like something like that.
A pretty flower.
Or
Yeah,
like
women love.
I
ingredients
just
that
drag Dunk in.
okay.
Right after they are away and in the store, I'm going to turn to Will and be like, should we take care of our other business?
Without them. Oh, our other business. No, not yet.
Right.
Do you know where you'd find him?
Chris, I would know like exactly where to find him, right? I've
You
like,
would.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Clover, please don't do that, sweetheart. Thank you. Um, gentle parenting. Um, Branwyn and Dunk, you walk into the potentially the most meticulously well maintained, not just potion or alchemy shop, but all shops put together that you've ever seen. Everything hangs perfectly neat and bundled in like thin paper, like almost like parchment paper with thin twine wrapped around it in concentric circles, hanging delicately from the ceiling to dry. Books are stacked very neatly, just one at a time. There isn't a large book selection. It's just like one shelf that is kind of a handful of books upon them. And most of the interior of the shop is maintained by a number of wooden shelves with single vials of potions and all manner of liquids, kind of different shades, shimmering and hues alike, all stacked very neatly and well organized. And in the far corner, kind of behind the little shopkeeper's counter, is this very ornate looking grandfather clock that the store inside is so quiet you can hear the gentle tick tick meticulously, as this very kind looking gnome woman looks up from the counter. She's, ah, guests in the shop. What brings you here today? And she kind of hesitates to meet eye contact with you.
We're just grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping, yes. Uh, I, I paid. I paid yesterday. So if you're here to collect again, you should talk to your friends.
Oh, that's crazy because we're here to pay you because we're trying to buy things.
Buy?
Yes.
You're, um, something in particular you're looking for?
Uh, Yeah. Could use your help finding this. We're looking for a book.
I
Here's the
got books.
scenario.
Yeah.
Here's the scenario. This might be kind of fun for you to pick out, honestly. So our friend is making us buy him a present for his girlfriend. So we would, and she likes herbs and flowers and alchemy and stuff. The book that will be the nicest thing that will make it abundantly clear that he didn't pick it out himself.
Kind of like almost like lets a little chuckle escape. Hmm. You're really here for. She leans over the counter and kind of whispers of it. You're not worried about being seen out shopping, right?
Seen by who?
Why did you come into town?
Yeah. It's pretty obvious, probably.
What?
That we're new into town. That's what's pretty obvious.
Oh, she said when did you? But we'll
Oh.
take that.
Oh, when?
Um,
Oh, when? Like today.
you better stay off the streets, dear. It's not safe out there. They'll take your heads if they don't like the look at you.
Oof.
She like be on the sidewalk.
She kind of struggles and like then looks down and sees like a little one of the pieces of bundles of herbs that she was wrapping kind of fell askew as she was talking to you, and she just subtly puts it back into place. She goes, a book, yes. Um, that would be Mondolo's Guide to Herbs and Spices. Um, that would probably be very helpful. A young lady interested in the alchemical would find it intriguing, but it's just kind of innocuous enough that it's not straight up potion making. So it would really take some thinking that, like, oh, this will teach you uses of herbs that could help you make your own things. So it's not like an instruction book. It's a book for the curious mind. Is she a curious
She's a
mind?
bit smarter than that. She's a bit smarter than that.
Oh, okay. Bit smarter than that. Fair enough. Sorry, that was one of my favorite books.
Oh,
Bit smarter than that, okay.
she's more experienced.
Yeah,
She's not just curious. She's
she
really
is
like
Well,
she's into it.
this is good for the intermediate skill level because they're not exact instructions. It's rather teaching you about the alchemical properties of herbs and different herbs and spices, and thus it requires a keen mind to understand how they might take those instructions and turn them into something useful.
Are you okay?
That's fine. Are you going to buy something or no?
Yes,
Yeah,
we'll take your
yeah.
suggestion.
That sounds like a
Great.
good book.
Great. Well, that is a very rare find, and it's first edition. So that will be 38 gold for the book.
Dunk.
Yeah. All right.
So it is a gift. Would you care for me to gift wrap it?
That'd probably be best, honestly.
Yes. Yeah. But make it like
Be-
really nice. Here, I'll
Oh.
throw you an extra couple.
Oh,
Make it like really
very
nice
kind.
that it looks like
Actually, add
authentic
another
wrapping stuff.
couple if you can put in. You know how flowers have. You definitely would know how flowers have meaning. Can you just add a flower that would definitely have a meaning? That would kind of just to throw a little fun into the mix because he's not picking this out himself. You know.
You must be very good friends of him to do this for him. Yes, of
Something
course.
like that.
Oh no, we're
I-
trying to mess with him a little bit with this one.
Okay. Great. Understood. And she's going to take the book off the shelf. And as she does so, she's going to push like the other ones so that they're evenly spaced across on the shelf, and then place the book down and begin like a very meticulous wrapping process. And it takes about 10 minutes. And then she places the book very neatly wrapped in this kind of brown parchment paper. I put a few herbs on their respective pages, so she should find this quite helpful.
I'll
It's
toss
really
her
great,
50
actually. I
gold
kind of wish
for
I
the,
had that in real life.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, and do be careful.
I just have one more question. Who
Yes, dear.
who made that clock?
The clock. It was made by my grandfather.
Is he good at fixing things?
He was. He's long dead
Oh,
now.
damn. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
The entire next session is
Alright,
devoted to fixing Branwyn's violin.
Is there anything we can do on our way out that would help you out?
Don't touch anything.
Got it.
And if you leave, tell people about this.
What do you
She's gonna kind of like
don't tell people about this?
tell people about this, and her eyes kind of widen.
All right, Chris, are you saying tell people about this?
Tell,
Yes, or
tell,
don't
yes,
people
tell
about this?
people, tell
Wait,
people
tell
about this.
I think
tell
she was
people about
asking
what?
You want like
The city. We're not allowed to
Oh,
leave. Someone needs to help
what do,
us.
I can get a message out. Who do you want?
Anyone.
What do you need me to say?
Trowood, Mercier, anyone who can help us.
I can send out a message right here if you want me to.
If you know someone who can
You can
help
tell me
us,
what to say.
yes.
I can try.
She kind of looks around nervously. She goes, no, not here. I have a family to think about. Just get the
Okay.
word out.
Okay. I'll try my
me to,
best.
like kill somebody for you.
You want us to kill someone for you?
Hey, we just met,
There's
but
there's too many of them. There's too many of them.
Who's who?
I know they're divided. They don't. Their rules are different. I know people on the west side of the city don't follow the same rules that we do. Something happened last week. You must go. I can't be seen talking about this. Please,
One more
don't
question,
touch
and
anything.
we'll get out of your hair. Have you seen a girl with short white hair come in? Probably today, maybe yesterday.
I haven't seen anyone now.
Okay.
You're the first new person I've seen in 3 weeks.
All right, let's go.
Thank you. Really, thank you. All right. You now have a well-packaged book of Mondolo's Guide to Herbs and Spices. Are you doing anything else with the day, or are you planning on waiting until the evening?
I'm going to.
Willem.
Oh, I was just gonna say Willem is gonna say, you guys did a really, really good job. Like, Dunk, just take however much this was out of the bank and divide it amongst yourselves. Also, would you mind holding on to this? Wonderful.
Into the folds.
You guys were in there for a while. Is everything like cool, or were you just doing a really good job?
I need to go send a message quick.
I think this town might be being trafficked.
Yeah, no, this town is absolutely fucked.
The entire town is human traffic.
People have been saying that maybe the chief's been murdered, but you didn't hear that from me.
Probably wouldn't have anything to do with Hansen Deity's cultists walking around conspicuously in robes and looking scary.
How about we keep walking?
No,
Let's
I
keep
think
moving.
it has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Are you fucking dumb?
Let's keep moving and keep a low profile.
Low profile for now, but we probably just can't leave this place like this. Yeah.
I don't see any problem.
Let's
with
go
it.
do your thing. Let's go to your whatever thing.
Okay. Well, before nightfall, there's one more place I wanted to go, but I think it's probably on our way.
Okay. What place is that?
I would like to go to my burned down house.
You emo.
Uh, it is indeed on the way of where you're going. It is
It's now
about
Kmart.
kind of if you headed back.
Spirit Halloween.
Come on.
Spirit Halloween.
Poor Willem. Oh my god. You do make your way
Honestly, I wouldn't even be
back
mad.
Got distracted.
northeast of the city, kind of not too far from where you were at the Oxbow. And the buildings begin to thin quite a bit as you do so. Like kind of it starts to get back into that kind of more rundown, almost shantytown style, and then the farms begin to pop up again. So you kind of entered back into this kind of northeast corner, nestled between the river and the mountains, where the city gives way to kind of more rolling plains and open field. And Willem, you kind of get that familiar tug on the back of your mind, this kind of ghost of a memory, um, as you round a corner and around an old mill. You'll see kind of the edge of the forest where your home was, the same forest you kind of ran into the back of when you heard the crowd chanting and coming up. Um, you hope to find remnants, a loose structure, broken shambles or shingles, and or even an outline of where the home used to be, but it's nothing but fields now. You find little evidence of a home ever being there.
I am quietly distraught.
At this point, the sun has begun to set.
I'm going to kneel down in like the dirt near where my home used to be, maybe like where my kitchen table with my parents, and thinking about eating famous Conway's Ferry goose stew and things like that. And I'm just going to unsheath my sword and kneel down, and so my sword's in my left hand, and
He's gonna set it on fire again. Sorry.
I'm gonna pick up some dirt with my right hand and just rub it through my fingers, and very quietly I'm going to say, "Ma, Pa, I'm gonna make it right soon. I'm gonna fix this." And then I'm gonna get up and turn back to my companions and keep walking towards the grove.
The rest of you see Willem kind of his face visibly strained. And you don't know it, as he hasn't really told you, but you get the sense that this place is familiar to him. Um, and as you press forward, Willem, and follow Talia's instructions further, she kind of told you to look out for the grove, but she also indicated that a cabin would be there. Um, and it's as you press forward that you kind of get the sense that these are it's all very familiar to you. These are woods that you spent your youth playing in. When your days working in the field were done, you would always head out um, and just enjoy your time together. And before long, as the night begins to fall, and nothing but the gentle glow of the moon to guide you as you press further up, um, you get the sense that you've kind of gone as far as Talia would have instructed you to go. Um, you don't see a cabin, you don't see a grove, but in the distance, make a perception check.
9. Anybody do better, please?
9.
We're all doing it.
You're all walking.
7.
Wow. Oh
It's up to you,
God.
Branwen.
10.
Alright.
Branwen, as you walk up the road, you
My
can see
passive,
around.
my passive perception's 11 though.
Yeah,
Our eyes
around the
are
corner.
just so like misty-eyed from seeing
10 was all you
them.
needed. You see a gentle glow of a firelight kind of off the main road that draws your attention.
I just poke Willem's shoulder and point.
Much obliged. I turn to Lazer Hawk and I say, same arrangement as before.
I think that's for the best. Although
Uh,
something tells me they're gonna know what's going on, regardless.
oh yeah, I will not be disguising myself again. Willem is going to turn to Branwyn and Dunk and say, same thing as at the Oxbow. Cheesers will let you know if we need help. And we might.
Okay. I'll
Um,
just put my hood up and slip into the shadows.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find some small little nook to crawl into.
I'll have
as the
both
sun
of
is
you
low.
make
Breathe into you boneless insane
I'll have both of you
person.
make stealth checks.
I get
Not Willem or Lazer Hawk.
advantage if I'm or wait. I either get advantage on hiding or they get disadvantage for looking for me or both. The cloak of elven kind. I think it's both.
Let me confirm. One
The
second.
Elden Ring.
Your wisdom checks made to
Yes.
see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on stealth checks.
Yeah, so I'm basically just gonna hide.
Okay, I'll still
Oh
have you
god,
make
I rolled
a
just
stealth check with
Darbo.
advantage.
It's a 16.
Dunk.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Laserhawk and Willem, as you approach the campfire, you kind of cut through the trees a little bit that mark the edge of the road, and Willem, you're instantly just crippled by the scene before you. At the center of the clearing is the tree stump, but it's not the stump that draws your eye. It's a battered and bloodied man, shackled to its roots, arms spread wide, arching his back and his chest up towards the heavens, his white tunic slick with sweat and blood, his head hung back. And the memories just come flooded back to you like a tempest unleashed. The memories you fought so hard to bury within yourself, or perhaps were even willed to forget. It was here that this man before you had found you that day. You and your friend, innocent enough, just kind of sparring with your practice swords, as you did most days. But your hood had fallen. Curtis didn't care. He had helped you from the day that you first formed them. But Bernard cared. And it was he who stood at the edge of the clearing, shouting for you to stop as you disarmed Curtis with a swing of your blade, and he cursed you, reached out to grab you, and you lashed out at him. Did what only you could. And hellish flames danced off your blade, scarring the man across the face, leaving him with a permanent scar across his face. The very same scar now visible on the chained man's face as he grits his teeth and the blood drips down from his eyes. And as you stand there, paralyzed with fear, another figure steps out of the shadows, her white hair glistening as the dusk gives way to the moonlight, the same woman that you met earlier in the oxbow. Oh, my sweet boy, do not think for just a moment that I wouldn't be the one to greet you here. What do you think? Are you glad to see him?
Willem opens his mouth to speak, but nothing comes out, and he's just shaking. But whether out of fear or rage, I can't tell.
Oh, my little boy. I promise you, our encounter today is not without its rewards.
Speaking of
It's
rewards, can we
oh,
please cut to the chase here?
Scraft, of course, I would not wish to deny you your funds. And she kind of snaps her fingers, and this big pile of gold appears in a weighty pouch in your hand. And she goes, But before you take its craft, I must ask you. You must miss your lady wife, right? I know my sister has promised you the opportunity to see her. But I can do you one better. I think you'll find here tonight this concept of life for life. It's a little bit better. It will get to you. So just and make a wisdom saving throw.
She's gonna silence him.
Oh wait, I get advantage on these, I think. Please do I? Because I rolled really bad. Where is it? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
I do have proficiency. So I just get an extra. What is it? 11.
Unfortunately, you find the words caught in your mouth, unable to utter them. And she pulls down her finger and she turns back to you and she goes, "We have a tapestry of fate here together, Willem. Every thread its own value, every weave a purpose. To see this one," and she's gonna kind of saunter over and grab the man's face in her hand and pull it down to you, his eyes kind of rolling back into his head. She goes, "Helpless before you. It's already a gift, isn't it? But I am not one to let a child of mine leave feeling unfulfilled. So, I make an offer. Very good at these. You can take your retribution here and now, darling." She's gonna snap her fingers again, and a blade appears in your hands. Just, you can kill him. But know that your strike will be sweetened with more power than you could ever imagine. I offer you stuff of legends, whispered about in hushed tones in dirty taverns. Powers that shield fragile hearts of those you hold dear. Her red hair, such a beauty, isn't it? You want to keep her safe. You want to keep your friends safe. It
What
makes
are
even.
you talking about?
It's quite simple, dear. I offer you a gift. His life. And power beyond your wildest dreams. Skills that only one of us can give you. They come with a bond, of course. Ties that bind you and I. Deep, unyielding ties. Your newfound strength will hail from the essence that I provide you, along with my sisters. Don't worry, they're part of this. I would not betray them. And in turn, you become a beacon of our will, a vessel of my desires. You'll hear my voice on the wind in the night when you sleep. But that is the such a way of power, dear. It never comes without its strings. It really comes down to a question, dear. Will you hide in the shadows the rest of your life? Or will you stand in the radiance of my will? You'll need only take his life. All of this and more, I promise you more, will be yours.
I'm staring daggers at Willem.
Willem is going to look at Thalia and say, "Before I agree to anything, I need more information from you."
Let's go away, my dear.
What do you want with me?
I want what any mother wants. For her child to grow up big and strong. I want you to join us, Willem. I want you to
Willem,
fulfill on the promise that your parents made to me. To us. You can be so much more. And we will see it through. I know you don't see it yet. I know you don't see it now. But you will. Take your revenge. Take the vengeance. I'm offering it to you in my hands. Take it. Take the revenge on the man who killed your parents, who told you that your life would never be the same, killed your friend by proxy. And we will show you unimaginable power. And in time, I know that you will come to us and say, I am ready for the next step in my life. Of this I am certain. Everyone comes around eventually, dear.
Willem takes the blade that she conjured in his hand and he appraises it. And he's going to walk over to Bernard and get very close to his face and turn to Thalia and say, "Can he hear me?"
Of course.
I'm going to take his face in my hand and say, "I have thought about your face every night before I sleep since the day I left. You ruined my life. You took my family away from me. You took my future away from me. And I have never hated somebody the way I hate you." Or so I thought. And he drops the knife and turns to Thalia. "You did this. It was you and your sisters.
Darling, please, I'm hurt. What do you mean?
You made me this thing. You burned Bastion. You made me forget. And I have no doubt that you turned the people of this town against me. You probably sent him to the clearing to find me that day."
Darling, you overestimate our power and you severely underestimate the will of human beings who want nothing more than to see people like us dead. I am honest with you, my boy. Your parents came to us desperate for a solution. They knew what they were getting, dear.
And you
At
knew
18, darling, please. At 18, they were ready to give you up to us. It was all part of the deal. And she's going to kind of conjure in her hand a brown piece of paper, hastily scrawled, and you recognize it immediately. It is your mother's script. It's what she willed. She wanted someone to raise and to care for, but she promised you to us.
well. She's not alive to fulfill that bargain anymore now, is she?
So
You
why
took
would that be our
advantage
fault?
of my parents. And yes, humanity may burn and hate what they don't understand. And there was a man who not so long ago I heard talking exactly like you, talking about retribution upon the world and balancing the scales. But that's not the way this is supposed to happen. So no, I will not take your deal. I am my own light moving forward. And he takes out the sword and makes it fire.
That is a shame. It is a real shame.
I knew I didn't like you. And this will not be the last time that I see you.
No? What do you have in mind?
I am going to ruin you and everything that you stand for.
It's interesting. You know, if you leave us here, you leave him here, he will raise a whole city against you. Do you fancy seeing the rest of your friends burn?
I'm not a little boy anymore. I can take care of myself, and my friends can take care of ourselves. And we're going to stop you and stop this.
We will see about that.
Yes, we will. And Willem is going to cut his hand with the sword and press his bloody palm into the ground and say, I swear it. I will stop you.
It could have been so much better if you had agreed. Such a shame. I'm just gonna look over at Lazer Hawk and say, the offer stands. If you ever get tired of rolling with him, you know where to find me. I'm just going to kind of step out of view and into the shadows. And you're left there in the still silence of the night. Laserhawk, the silence overcomes you, and you're able to speak once more. And the man chained to the tree groans as he kind of comes to, sees you standing there, Willem. It's you. You, you're, you're alive.
Oh, I am very much alive, Bernard. As are
You did,
you.
you did this to me.
Willem is going to get in his face and go, oh no, you did this to me.
What do you want with me?
I can kill him whenever you want me to.
What?
I got the crossbow.
Yeah. Willem is going to hack at the chains that are on Bernard's arms with the sword.
In an attempt to break them.
Yes.
Okay, roll to hit. They are fairly sturdy chains.
Is it hit by a 25?
It is hit by a 25.
Okay. That would be 16 slashing damage and 5 fire damage.
Okay. You get the sense that the slashing does not do as much as you'd like it to, but the flame of your sword begins to kind of melt away at the at the steel of the chains, and you get the sense that if you were to kind of keep at it, you might be able to hack away at them.
I will keep at it and
Okay.
hope it doesn't take too long.
Within a few swings, you are able to cleave through um, the one chain, kind of holding, anchoring him down to the right side of the stump, and he kind of pulls his hand back. They're quite heavy, so he's really not able to pull them up very high, but he kind of clutches it in his hand. He goes, "What are you doing?"
Do you have any idea what just happened here?
"Hmm, I saw. I stopped by the Oxbow. This was a week ago. I don't remember anything since."
Well, allow me to enlighten you. I have just spared your life. There was a hag who was trying to get me to kill you, giving me, or rather offering me, everything I have wanted for 2 years. And I turned her down because you were wrong about me, and you were wrong about my parents.
So what? I'm supposed to like you now because you
No,
saved my life.
no, 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 Bernard. Death is too good for you. We have
What you
a bit
mean,
of a
boy?
problem on our hands, though, and we seem to, for once, have some common cause. Conway's Ferry has been taken over by a dangerous cult who wants to destroy all of the humans. I will not
I don't
let
think
that
I know
happen.
that. They killed Edgar. What are you gonna do about it?
We, and I gesture towards Lazer Hawk and the rest of the people who are hiding behind bushes. We are going to stop them, and you are going to help.
What am
And
I
you are
gonna
going
do?
to spend the rest of your life regretting what you did to me and my family.
He gulps hard. He doesn't really respond. He just kind of hangs his head.
Come on, you're supposed to be a big, strong man. You were real tough when you burnt down my house that day, killed my parents, killed Bastion.
Fuck off. I did
Pathetic.
what I thought was right. I'd do it again.
I'm going to make you regret that. I'm offering you help. You want these cult fuckers gone? I can do something about it.
Grits his teeth. Fine. But this ain't over. Got me by the short hairs now, because I'm chained to this fucking tree. But if you want to settle this a real way, I'll take you any day, boy.
Willem is sort of going to smile at that and say, maybe someday, but I can't do that. Not right now, at least. Got bigger fish
What
to
do you,
fry.
what do you got in mind?
Uh, this is where Willem is going to break and say, not really much of an ideas guy. I just said a lot of that stuff because it sounded tough, but yeah, I want to help.
You're green. Got no business calling yourself a leader.
Wouldn't dream of it.
I'm the leader. Me,
Hawk.
Lazer Hawk.
That's
Lazer
where
Hawk.
Willem is going to turn and look at it and go, yes, Scrat, you're the leader.
Scraft.
Scraft.
Lazer Hawk is my bounty hunter name. I go by Lazer Hawk.
Mhm.
Nobody calls me Scraft anymore.
I couldn't even protect his wife. And you're gonna call him your leader too? Got some people hiding out in the trees there. Some army that's gonna come through and save the day. Because if this is all we got, then you might as well kill me here. Because we're not getting anywhere.
I'm gonna
Willem
be
is sort of
honest.
going to smile and say, don't you worry. We've got more friends than you might think.
He's gonna shake his other hand, which is still chained to the trees. Fine.
You want me to finish
You've
cutting
got
you
a
down?
deal. Yeah. Get me out of here.
Yeah. Willem is going to do so. But as he does, I am going to walk up to him and press the sword on against his neck, and I say, "And you try anything against me or one of my friends, I'm going to make a very different choice than the one I made tonight."
Big man, big sword. You're just a boy at ours. We'll see about that.
Bigger than you, coward.
You know, spit blood in the opposite direction of you. Goes, so where do we go from here?
I turn to Laser Hawk and sort of give him a inquiring expression.
Well, to be totally honest, I didn't think we were gonna deal with all this fucking cult nonsense. I thought we were gonna get the fucking seeing stone and get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's not the deal anymore. You don't have to do anything, of course. It's just, if you care about this place or any of these people, you probably should.
I don't care about this place. I don't care about these people. But I care about that goddamn. Fine. All right. Fine. What, do they have a leader here? Do they have someone who they all look towards? Let's fucking kill him. I don't know.
Willem is sort of going to think and go, we need to find Sina.
Ah, I didn't sign up for this shit.
You got your goal. You can go.
It's not all I want, buddy. I'm in it for the long haul, unfortunately.
You and me both. And I am going to start walking back towards Dunk and Branwyn.
I will follow. I'm muttering curses to myself though the whole time. I'm pissed that I have to do this.
You guys, you catch any of that?
No.
You heard everything.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
I may have just made the most stupid decision of my life, which has been nothing but a culmination of stupid decisions.
I honestly thought you were gonna kill him. I think that was probably the most metal decision you've ever made in your life, though.
I kind of thought you were gonna kill the hag at first.
She's
Oh,
too-
she would have dusted him. Yeah.
No.
Is that your mom?
Oh
You're
no!
Is that your hot
Your
mom?
mom's kind of hot.
I only had one mother, and she is a dusty old pile of dust.
Willem, I seems I misjudged you as well. I don't think that you want to be a hag.
I hope you see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It's what they choose to do with themselves that sets
Well,
their
that's
life
from the
forward.
great philosopher Mute.
You too.
And I kind of address everybody. I go, yeah, so my name's Scraft Gumption. Call me Lazer Hawk if you want. But
What's the name you want to be called?
doesn't seem like I'm hunting a bounty on you anymore, so you can call me Scraft.
Wish I could say it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance, but these are certainly less than pleasurable circumstances.
Correct.
I don't mean to pry too much, but I did just sort of bare my soul before you and unleash months, if not years, of horrible trauma. So I sort of feel like I have to ask, what do you want with the hags?
What do I? Just looking to have someone back I haven't seen in a while.
I can respect it. Well, it seems we have a rebellion to plan.
Right. That feels like a good place to end tonight's session. However, as you stand there in a circle, Willem, you feel a touch of pain in your hand, the same hand you shook Ophelia's, and peculiar energy seems to waft over you, and you hear a voice in the back of your mind, familiar. That was a mistake, darling. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh,
We thank all of you
no.
for tuning in to Nat20Hot on our day after Halloween special. As always, we're doing this for fun. We do it for the kids. You can check out the link in the chat to make a contribution to Extra Life. Here in the season of giving, it is a wonderful tax-deductible donation to children in need to children's hospitals in your area. And we are really hoping to make it to 1,000 by the end of the year. So if you have the opportunity to help out, we would greatly appreciate it. As always, you can follow us at Nat20Hot on TikTok and Instagram, or you can visit us on the web at www.nat20hot.com. And we'll be back here, same time, same place, Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, with another wonderful episode of Nat20Hot. Until then, we hope you all have a great week.
Bye, Zomboy.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
boy.
Palestine.